Hello, fellow Reds. Welcome to LFC Transfer Room, and we're going to be discussing here today the 3 key decisions that Klopp needs to make ready for the Bournemouth game. And it's really, really important just to remember that these aren't just the 3 important points. There's a whole raft of information, a whole raft of analysis that Klopp needs to take into consideration, the training and who's available. So the first key decision is who's going to be playing at number 9. There's a number of options available for Klopp, and we'll consider each one of those as we go along. So the first one's going to be Jota. Jota started last week, and though he didn't perform the way that we thought he would have, he's still a really, really good option. He has that ability to be able to score, create goals. Had a really good, decent pre-season as well. So, some of the goals that he scored, that particular one against Bayern Munich with a good header, could see him really cement his place as number 9. The second option is always going to be Gakpo. He's a really, really good player. Started in a deeper position, maybe not his preferred position itself, but going by what we saw in last season and pre-season as well, he's played with that de facto number 9 shirt on him. We saw key performances against Manchester United, and then we're talking about pre-season as well. That's crucial, lovely goal against Bayern Munich in the first couple of minutes there. Now, Gakpo has the ability to play in a deep position, but we see that the best from him is in that number 9 position, considering that he's the new Bobby for us. One thing to consider about Gakpo is the opposition. So what we're looking for is Bournemouth. How will they play? And so they're going to be most likely to be a deeper, low block team, and so they'll invite more pressure and try to hit us on the counter attack. So that doesn't leave too much space. And what we have in Jota and in Gakpo are players that are very quick with their feet and quick with their mind. So in tighter spaces, they'll be able to kind of create those crucial bits of space to be able to get shots off, beat players, create, do things that we're actually looking for against these type of opponents. And then the last option is going to be Nunez. Nunez has the number 9 shirt, has kind of taken on the mantle to be the number 1 choice in that position. Now, he probably didn't play against Chelsea because he was away from training duties in the week, media duties that we were told of, but you would expect him to be able to kind of come into those positions and make a real difference for the team. One of the main things is he had a great pre-season, 4 goals against really good opposition and really good goals as well, kind of instinct. If we take the kind of the time away from him to be able to think and rely on those instincts, that's when we see Nunez. And against when we have low blocks, it doesn't really take something. Sometimes it needs a little bit of luck, and I think Nunez has got that. The main thing is he needs to deliver. He's got that number 9, and it means a lot for us as fans. It means a lot for him as well, I'm sure. And we are expecting that second season Nunez as like what we saw in Benfica. Decision number 2 is going to be midfield. We always know that it's going to be McAllister and Szoboszlai that are going to be playing in that midfield. The crucial point is who's going to be partnering them. Now, we'll have to consider the options available. So last week we saw Gakpo playing a deeper position than normal in that number 10. Now, again, just like Jota didn't really perform the way that we wanted, and so would it be time to actually bring in other options? Now, as the game wore on, we saw a number of substitutions. Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott, they came on and made a really positive impact to what we were trying to do within the game. There were a number of things that we saw, the calmness in the ability when we saw Jones playing that slightly deeper position, which would probably allow Szoboszlai and McAllister to go forward and where to make more impacts against that low blocking team. But also Jones does allow us have that extra ability within midfield to create, to bring in other players, and also rely on that defensive capabilities that he's really shown in the last 10 or so games last season. We saw that in in the summer as well when he was playing for England, and he was playing in a double pivot with Gomez from Manchester United, and they won the tournament. So there's proof there that he has that capability, has the ability, the maturity as well to be able to go into a real high risk, high important game itself. So I wouldn't have any qualms if Jones started on the weekend. I've spoken about Elliott. Again, his positive nature, positive outcome and influence on the game last week could be considered. Now, whether that kind of proves the point, whether whether Elliott should be that player to come off the bench to try to calm things down, or if we are chasing a goal or need that little bit more, calmness on the ball, I've already said. So Elliott could be that player for us, and so it would be really, really interesting if he would be on the bench. Maybe that's a better option for him at this time in his career at Liverpool. The other option, final option, is maybe it's a little bit too soon for him, but Thiago has just returned to training. Klopp likes to ensure that he does have 2 or 3 sessions just to get back into the speed. Match fitness is always difficult to obtain if you're just training. So the only way around it is to play games. And so that's going to be available to him. I think Thiago would be a fantastic addition. We have missed him. The silky passing, the tenacious midfield kind of general that he is, that he would bring to this weakened midfield that we have at the moment. We are still looking for that number 6. And so, Thiago has got pedigree, has got has history in that position, and he's done it for a number of years. And we've got suitable and numerous examples of him being able to play in that position. So he would be a really, really good choice if fit, and if he's able to kind of last for the game. And it might not even be the full game that he's needed for, the first 60 minutes. If he's able to do that, we put the game away, and then we can start thinking about introducing the Elliots and the other players that we want to do just to shore up the game, see out the game, and enjoy Anfield again. That would be really, really good. And then the final decision I believe that Klopp needs to think about is Trent. Now, what we saw Trent do against Chelsea is what we expected. We saw that in the last 10 games of last season. He really, really controlled that midfield, is able to kind of spray the ball. We saw the opportunity for Salah in the goal that he scored that was rightly called offside. But that through ball that he put through for Salah just kind of whets the appetite for what he's actually able to do. The problem, as we all say, and this is the formation that Chelsea played, because they played wide wing backs, and so they pushed Chilwell into that open space and essentially played long switches, balls over the top to essentially a player that hugged a very, very high position than normal, not for what you would expect for a wing back, but more of a left winger, and that put pressure either on on Trent, and also on Konate. Konate can't do everything on his own. He has to have that support. And when you do have Konate dragged over, then you need to rely on Virgil and then his backup, Robbo. So are we comfortable being able to allow Trent to be in midfield and allow for space behind if Bournemouth do get the ball, quick transitions, quick counter-attacks, absorbing the pressure that we would be obviously applying on them. So it's going to be really, really important. I think, personal opinion, the game against Bournemouth is going to be a lot easier than what it would have been against Chelsea. So we would have more time on the ball. We're going to have more time, more space further up towards the Bournemouth goal itself. So Trent being in a position where he's really excelled since the end of last season, it's going to be really, really, really crucial for us to win in our first game of the season, get in the 3 points, get ourselves where we should be, and that's further up the table, challenging for the title, get into the top 4, and we just have a really positive last couple of weeks of the transfer window where we can try to get some more players in. I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe. Everything you do within the constraints of what YouTube has is brilliant. We want to bring you the best content available. Thank you for your time. Up the Reds.